farm.
Look.
Lots and lots.
This is a silky. Look at its head. And it's got feathers on its feet. It's little. Hopefully a girl.
So we have been getting little chicks out of the incubator, and Cassie has been taking them out to the new mega brooder.
Yep. So many of you have questions about and skeptical.
And we'll go through that when we get out there. There's a time and place for that. We'll do that in just a minute when we get out there.
I like this one.
But we wanted to, Cassie's got another one to show you guys. We wanted to check in with you and give you an update. So
if you're following along over on Instagram and Facebook, you've been seeing these as we've been putting them out. So make sure you're following there if you do that. If not, then you can be on YouTube. And we'll have videos out soon.
Yeah, we also had video of the brooder being built and the chicks going, or the eggs going on lockdown was our last video on catching up with the walkers.
Yeah, so we're just all over the place. You got to be all the places.
So if you haven't already checked out our catching up with the walkers, make sure you subscribe to that channel as well because we post a lot of stuff about the chicks over there.
Yeah, let's get these girls, hopefully no guys. Well, I'll take... I just ran out of the bottle.
Oh, that's gross.
Let's get these to the brooder.
All right, you good? Okay.
I'm on a farm.
So if you have not been following along, we have been
this is how you clean your hand on the farm.
Waiting on these eggs for about 28 days. But we went to
28 days? What do you have?
21 days. We went to Petals from the Past, and Cassie, how many eggs did you end up with from there?
163.
163. After 2 rounds of candling, we got down to 121.
Yep.
So that's what our amount of eggs that were in the incubator. And let me spin you around here. So here we go. I can actually show this. So
that one's a cool color.
That's just 10 of them.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So some of these are purebred breeds. Some of these are barnyard mixes. I just like chickens. I like barnyard the best, but there are some breeds I've been wanting, like the black copper Moran, some Wyandottes, some more lavenders. So it's just going to be as they grow, we'll see what they are. But man, that sounds bright.
Yep.
But we did ride on all the eggs, and as they've hatched, we've been able to see who's hatching, who's not. But once they come out of the egg, it's hard to keep up with.
So this is the brooder building that we built. Some of you may have, like I said, followed along as we built it. And we've had lots of questions. We'll cover those in a minute, but we got to get these chicks in here and get them under the heat.
Yeah. So you can see these are laying everywhere because it is warm in here because it's during the day. And we have these heat plates for when it cools off. And then when it's warm, they move around. So I dip their beaks in water, I put them under the heat so they realize it's there, and then they can choose if they want to stay or go. I think I'm going to have to add one more.
Turn you around.
Huh?
I said I'm going to turn them around so I can get...
I think I'm going to have to add one more brooder
heater.
I prefer these over heat lamps because they regulate themselves. There's no chance of fire. And they're warm to the touch, but they won't burn you. So
let me show you guys. See over here in this corner? The chicks can go all the way over here. This is a 9-foot by 46-inch brooder. So they have all the heat they want over here, but they can go all the way around. So
Gary hung up one of my signs for me. More signs to come. We got this LED light. This isn't for heat at all. This is just to give them light. Some of you guys were super concerned that they were going to peck at these, which is like super hardened like a tire. But since so many of you thought they were all going to die, I went around and I picked the ones off at the very bottom. So that's easy.
Yeah.
Look at that one in the corner. It's not stuck, is it?
Why don't you check on it? I want to get the camera out so I can move it around. I want to get you guys down next to the chicks so you guys can see kind of a close-up. I don't think it's stuck. They like to get in the corner like that and just put their head in there.
Yeah.
I think it makes them feel safe, but you want to lift it up? Oh, look at all the little chicks from our Petals from the Past Alabama hatch. And then under this one, so do you even want to attempt to get a count? Because people are wondering how many.
We're at 80 or more. And all of them are doing great. If they look like they're laying weird, when they get warm and cozy, that's just how they lay. Sometimes they look dead, but that's just what they do. I'm sweating.
Well,
they're supposed to be 100 degrees, so it's good that it's warm in here. That's why they're out running around. If they're all hunkered under the brooder, that's because they're cold.
yeah. People have all the
about stuck on that one.
people have all the worries about this building, but in just Wednesday, the high is going to be 70 degrees. So it does get warm in here, but it's a brooder, so chicks are supposed to be warm.
Oh, this one that I taped its legs is doing awesome. I couldn't even tell which one it was. So this one had spray leg or sprawl leg, however you say it. So I taped its legs together. Its head has straightened up. Its head was all wonky, and it's setting up, walking around just fine. So its muscles were kind of like loose, and it needed to be tightened up. So in a day or two, I'll replace it, the bandage. But it's doing great.
Look at this little crew over here. That little.
I'm gonna get some air.
Okay. I'm gonna get kind of close up to these guys. Hey guys. So they're just huddling over here in the corner, and they kind of keep each other warm off their body heat. Look at that lavender color right there is beautiful. Just all kinds of colors. Hey Tatum. Sorry, we haven't been looking at the comments a whole lot. We'll sit down a little bit. Let's do one more look under this heater. Whoa, they're everywhere.
So they don't need a top on them for right now because they're not flying around. We just got to make sure the cats stay out of here. But we'll put a top on it pretty soon because they'll start trying to jump out.
So I'm guessing, I just get a little count, Cassie, and I'm thinking around 80 right now.
That's what I said.
So I'm thinking 80 to 90 is where we're at.
I have probably 10 more inside drying off.
Yep.
So I don't bring them out here until they are completely dry or pretty much dry. They stay in the incubator.
Or can you grab my tripod out of there before you close it? So, yeah, good hatch rate so far.
People ask and wonder, like, how quick do you have to get them to feed? So their little bellies are so pooched and bloated when I get them out of the incubator because they've absorbed all that in the egg. So they can actually stay in the incubator for like 48 hours at least. That's why they're able to ship eggs. Once you give them food and water, you can't take it away from them. So when you buy chicks and they ship them to you, then they haven't had them on food and water.
Yeah, and there are still 30 to 40 eggs in the incubators right now, probably. We're down to 121, so there's 30 to 40 inside. So we're not finished yet. If you want to see what the total hatch is, then you're going to have to wait. We'll have that video out on catching up with the walkers in a few days. But while I'm out here, the two main concerns that people have been worried about is wasps getting in here. Well, hang on, I was just going to show them. It's 1/8 of an inch at the top and 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. And everybody's been worried about mice and rats and snakes and everything else. But if an 1/8 of an inch snake can get through there, that snake's not very big.
Also, we're not helicopter parents to our children or to our animals. But also, we've been raising them in this shop over here. What do you think can get in there? Between the doors and all that. So if it was a problem in it there, then it might be a problem in there. But we've never had a snake. We've never had a mouse. Wasps are wasps. So it is what it is.
Yep. So we won't dwell on that too much longer because we know not everybody is so worried about that they're leaving 100 comments. But
I feel like there was 100.
Just to let you know.
And those things they thought they were going to peck on.
Well, just to let you know though, we're on top of it. We'll keep a close eye out. Let's grab a couple chairs. I'm gonna put this in that. So Cassie's been mechanicking over here. Did you know Cassie was a mechanic?
Huh?
I said, did they know that you were a mechanic?
Only when Ransom drives me crazy about it.
So Ransom had a Razor ATV, but he also had a Razor scooter, and he wanted the Razor moped. Moped scooter.
The Razor moped.
Sorry,
you guys like my forehead?
I'm getting adjusted.
The Razor moped, the battery wasn't working, so I thought they have the same charger, so I thought they'd be interchangeable. They weren't. So I didn't know that until I had already got all the batteries out. So then Gary had to help me rig it up a little bit. And now he's riding the moped around.
Yeah. So the brooder, back to the brooder temperature just for a minute. If that was a regular chicken house, we might want more ventilation in there. But the top on both sides has ventilation, and the brooder main purpose is to hatch out, have chicks raised from when they need heat.
Yeah, so right now they're full of fuzz. There's fuzz all over the incubator. There's fuzz everywhere. And they just have fuzz on them. And then in 4 to 6 weeks, they'll start getting feathers. Then they'll go outside. So like they're not gonna be in there forever.
Yeah, so by the time, probably, what is this, October, probably mid-November, around Thanksgiving
Thanks,
time.
Ron Gray. Yeah, a lot of people are confused, and he said apparently people have never seen these sheds before. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, around Thanksgiving time, they will be out and about. Hey, Eddie family, Brandon or Stephanie.
Yeah, I got about 10 hatched in the incubators drying, and then we have about 15 to 20 eggs that haven't hatched.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it just depends.
Hey, Steph. We got Steph and Brandon. Both channels. Go check them out, guys.
Double the trouble. No offense. But I know who left the OSU hat in our shop. Double the trouble.
Neither is less guilty than the other.
That's right. They're both instigators.
So, yeah. It's a part of sharing your life, but so many people like, that ain't gonna work, or why didn't you put the linoleum down first? Well, you know, if the world was perfect, everything would be perfect.
They recalled one-wheel scooters. What? Oh, you mean the ride-on, the one wheels? We don't have any of those, luckily.
One wheel, like a unicycle?
No, you know the one where you have one wheel in the middle and you set on the you balance. I think that's the only thing I know of with one wheel.
That's called a unicycle.
You haven't seen the one where you put your feet right down at the bottom and it has one wheel. You lean forward, it goes forward. It's a balance thing.
Like the mall cops used to wear?
Nope. No,
right?
not that big. It just looks like a wheel with a thing on it.